Okay, for this project, you're going to need 3 balls of Charisma tweed or any 5-weight bulky yarn. You're going to need a 6.5 millimeter hook, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so we're doing the cat hat, as you all know. And I am going to use Charisma tweed. Now, this has 93 yards in it, and it is a bulky 5. So, oops. I would suggest using a bulky yarn for this because I tried using a thinner yarn as my test pattern, and although it looks really good, whoops, it's upside down, although it looks really good, you're going to end up using a lot more yarn, a lot more than I have left in the ball, so you're going to end up needing 2 balls. So if you have 2 balls of a 4 weight yarn or a DK yarn, go for it. Use a 5.5 millimeter hook and you're on your way. But otherwise, use a thicker yarn, and I am using a 6.5 millimeter for this one. Okay, so let's get to her. Okay, you're going to start this project with your slip knot. You do your slip knot however you want to do it. Okay. And then, depending on your head size, I usually do 63, chain 63 for this. If you're using a thinner yarn, chain 69-ish. Do it in multiples of 3, and then just keep checking your head, like wrap it around your head and make sure that it's okay. Okay, so let's chain 63. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you chain until you get to your 63. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with a chain 3. Put your finger on the last chain that you have, and then chain 3. And then you're going to double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook, the one that you were holding on to. Okay, and then you're going to double crochet in each one all the way down, all 63. And make sure that you're not doing them really tight. Just, you know, just relax, just loosey-goosey, not too loose, but you know, just loose, you know, loose enough. Keep doing your double crochets all the way across. You should have 63 by the time you're finished. And yeah, it should look like this. Right, so here we are. So now this is going to be the brim of your hat. Okay. So, and also take this and measure it against your head, like, and make sure that it actually fits. And yes, mine fits. Just wrap it around your head. Okay. Oops, where are you? There you are. Okay, now, excuse me. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to chain up 3. Turn your work. Oof, my camera's not focusing. I wonder if I could put you up just a bit here. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're going to do a front post, back post. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll leave that link as well. Okay, so you're going to take your crochet hook, and you're going to go in this stitch here. This one's your first stitch, but that doesn't really count. That is going to end up being the low part of your front post, back post. So this is actually going to look like a back post when you're finished this. So you're going to take your crochet hook, you're going to go underneath your stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and do your regular double crochet. Okay, and it should look like that. Now you're going to go in the back post. You're going to go to the next one. You're going to go in behind and put your hook underneath. Pull your yarn through and pull it up a little bit, and then do your regular double crochet. Okay? Whoop. I gotta get used to being in the frame of the camera. So it's going to look like this. You're going to have one behind, one in front, and one behind. And that's the way it's going to look all the way down. Okay, so now we're going to do front post. Yarn over, put your hook in the next one underneath. Oops, sorry, forgot to turn off my phone. Yarn over, pull through, pull up a little bit, and do your regular double crochet. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, yarn over. Now the next one, you're going to go in the behind. Okay, behind and underneath. Yarn over, pull through, pull it up a little bit, and do your regular double crochet. There you go. You're going to do this all the way across. Yarn over, go underneath your front post, pull through, yarn over, and do your regular double crochet. You can do that all the way across, and you should still have 63 stitches. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, I'm at the end of my row, and I'm just about to do the last stitches. That's the back post. Now hopefully, oops, you should end with a front post double crochet. Okay, so this one is a stitch, so this counts as a stitch. So you're going to do a front post double crochet. If you don't, it's not a big deal. Like if you don't land on the front post, if it's a back post, that's okay. But you should end on a front post. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 2, turn your work. Okay, now this one you just ignore it because that is going to be a back post. It's going to look like a back post on this side. It's going to look like front post on this side and a back post on this side. Okay, so now you're gonna, this is the easy part because you always can see what's a front post and what's a back post. So then you just follow the pattern. This is a front post, so you put your hook underneath it, yarn over, pull through, and do your double crochet. So essentially we're doing the exact same thing all the way across, but it's going to be opposite, kind of. But you can see exactly what you're going to be doing. This is your back post. So you're going to put your hook underneath, yarn over, pull through, and do your double crochet. Yarn over. Here's your front post. Put it underneath, yarn over, pull through, and do your double crochet. Here's your back post. Yarn over, go underneath, pull through, and double crochet. Okay, so here's your front post. Put your crochet hook under, pull through, and double crochet. Back post, pull through, and double crochet. So you're going to do this all the way across. Okay. Okay, so I'm at the end now. I've only got 3 stitches left. So I'm going to front post, and back post. Oops. Okay, and then remember this one counts. So you're going to do your front post around it. There you go. Now ultimately what's going to happen is this is going to end up being this side, and this side is going to be a little edge. So when you sew it together, you'll have something to sew. Okay, so now we're done the brim. The brim is all finished. So now we're going to start doing the waffle part of the hat. Now the first 2 rows, it's a 2-row repeat. The first 2 rows might be a little bit tricky if you're not watching what you're doing, because you can end up missing a stitch. And then when you go back, you're going to really note, whoops, we're unfocused. Woohoo. Focus, there we go. You're really going to notice it, and then you'll have to frog it. So it's not, you can't fudge it, you know, it's, you have to have the right stitches. So okay, so we're going to chain up 3, turn your work, okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to do a double crochet in each stitch all the way across, and that's going to be the base for our waffle stitch. Okay, so this one is already got a stitch in it, so you're going to go to your next stitch, do your double crochet. Now each one of these has its own stitch. You can see here's your back post, there's the stitch right there. This is kind of a hard, I should have used just a plain yarn instead of a tweed, so you could see the stitches a bit better. But each stitch has its own little space right there. Okay, so you're just going to go across in each stitch and do a double crochet. Sorry if you can hear that dog barking in the background. We've got a lot of dogs in our neighborhood. Okay, so just do your double crochet, yarn over, put it in the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 1, or pull through, oh God, pull through 2, pull through 2. There we go. Okay, and that's going to give you a nice base for your waffle stitch. Okay, now I'm at the end, and I've done all of my stitches all the way down. But now what I'm going to do is on this last chain right here, I'm going to put a stitch in here, and that will give you your 63. So you go up your 2 stitches here, because this is your chain 3 that you had, but on your second chain, because this post, there's still post right here, right? So we're going to need to have a stitch right in there. It's going to be a little fiddly, but you can get it in there. And if you don't get it in the right one, if you get it in this one, it's no big deal. It's just the edging. And then you're going to do your double crochet. Okay. Now you're going to chain up 3. Turn your work. Yarn over. Okay, now this stitch counts. So this, oh, sorry, this stitch counts. I'm trying to look in the TV and I'm getting all mixed up here. This chain counts. So this is going to be your first double crochet. Now you're going to do 2 back posts. So you're going to do 1 back post here. And over. And then you're going to do another back post right here, and then the next one in the next stitch. Okay, so this is the beginning of your waffle stitch. So you're going to have a regular double crochet, and then 2 front posts, and then the next stitch is going to be just a regular double crochet, and then in the next 2 you're going to do a front post. So yarn over, go under, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to do it in the next one. Go underneath the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2, pull through 2. So you're doing your regular double crochets, but they're front posts. Okay, and then you're going to do a regular double crochet in the next stitch. In the next stitch, front post, double crochet. And then in the next stitch, front post, double crochet. Next stitch, regular double crochet. So you can see, it's really hard to see on this. I'm sorry guys, I really should have used a different yarn. So you're going to have your regular double crochet, your 2 front post double crochets, regular double crochet, 2 front post double crochets, and you're going to keep doing this all the way across. See, you've got the beginning of your waffles right here. And you're going to notice it really badly if you skip a stitch. Okay? So we'll just continue on. Regular front post double crochet, front post double crochet, front post double crochet, regular double crochet. Okay, so keep going all the way across and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm at the end of my row here. So what I've got is got 2 front post double crochet, 1 regular double crochet, and I'm going to end on 2 front post double crochets. So do your front post double crochet here. Now remember, this stitch counts, So you're going to do a front post around this stitch. Okay, and you're going to chain up 3 and turn your work. And then you see how this is? This is, each one of these is your waffle. You'll see it better on the next round. Okay, so this counts as your first double crochet. Here's your, excuse me, here's your indent. So you're going to do a regular double crochet. Okay, now here's your high piece. Here's your, this is going to be your front post double crochet. So yarn over, go underneath, pull through, and do your double crochet. Okay, now here's your indent. You've got 2 stitches in here, so you're going to do 2 regular double crochets. Okay, and here's your high piece, so that's going to be your front post. Okay, there's your indent. You're going to do 2 regular double crochets. Okay, double crochet. Here's your high piece. So that's your front post. Okay, you see how this is going now? So there's your waffle. Okay, here's your indent, so that's a double crochet. And there's another double crochet. Here's your high stitch, so that's your post. It's your indent, so double crochet, two double crochets. And here's your post. Front post double crochet. And there you go. Okay, now you're going to do that all the way across. 2 regular double crochets and a front post double crochet. 2 regular double crochets and a front post double crochet. You're going to do that all the way to the end, and I will meet you when you're done. Okay, so I'm at the end, and if all the moons and stars and everything are aligned properly, you should have one waffle right here. So you're going to do your front post, and then you're going to do your 2 double crochets. Okay, now remember this stitch counts, and you see how it's sticking up like that, so it's a front post. Okay, so here we go. It's starting to come along. Okay, so now that's where you have your 2 row repeat. Okay, so this is going to just be a repeat row. Okay, you're going to chain up 3, turn your work. And once you get going on this, it's really easy from this point on. You're going to see exactly what stitch you're going to do next. Like, you're not going to have to really think too much about it. Okay. Okay. So this stitch counts. So this is going to be your, excuse me, your regular double crochet. And then you're going to do, these 2 are going to be sticking up. So this is going to be your front post double crochets. So you're going to do 2 front post double crochets. Okay. And this stitch is going back, so this is going to be a double crochet. And these 2 are sticking up, so they're going to be 2 front post double crochets. This one's going back, so you're going to do a double crochet. These 2 are going forward, so they're front post double crochets. So 1, 2. This one's going backwards, so that's a regular double crochet. These ones are coming forward. So you're doing your front post double crochets. This gets really repetitive, but it's a really easy stitch, and I really enjoy doing this stitch because you see big results. Okay, I'm at the end of my row. Oops. Okay. So I only have 2 stitches left, and those are going to be my 2 front post double crochets. That's 1. And this end one is still a stitch. So you're going to do front post double crochet around there. Okay, so there you go. So there's the beginning part of that waffle stitch. Now you're going to chain up 3 and turn your work. Okay, now again, this stitch counts. This is your this is going to be considered your front post double crochet. Now this one goes down, goes in, so that's going to be your double crochet. This one comes up, so that's going to be your front post double crochet. Okay, these 2 are back, so it's a regular 2 regular double crochets. This one's forward. So this is going to be your front post double crochet. Okay, there's the beginnings of your waffles. Okay, these 2 are back, so they're your regular double crochets. This is really repetitive, I know, but you need to make sure that you get them all exactly the way they're supposed to be, otherwise your waffle's going to be all weird, and you're going to know right away. As soon as you mess it up, you're going to know, because you're going to go try to go in there and you're going to go, wait, that's not supposed to be that stitch. Okay, regular double crochets. And front post double crochet. These are back, so they're 2 double crochets. And this one's forward, so it's a front post double crochet. Okay. So there you go. It's going to be the same repeat. Okay, so just remember, if the stitch goes back, if it's indented in there, that's a regular double crochet. If it's forward, then it's a front post double crochet. Okay, you can see the same on this side. If it goes back, it's a double crochet. If it goes forward, then it's a front post double crochet. Okay, so you're going to go to the end of the row and you're going to keep doing this. I think it was 10 rows. Okay, so I gave you the wrong information on that last piece. What you're going to need is you're going to need to have 9 waffles going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 18 rows because each waffle has 2 rows in it. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay. So, sorry, my neighbor's outside. Okay, so pull your yarn, take your yarn and pull it through one more time and fasten off. Okay, just cut that down a little bit. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to fold this over. So now we're going to slip stitch all the way up and all the way over. Okay, so we're going to start at the corner, at the rim, at the brim. Okay, see what I like to do is put my hook through both edges and then put your yarn on your hook and pull it through, and then slip stitch. Okay, if you want to, if you have any ends, you can sew those in while you're doing this. Okay, now make sure that you have both your edges, and then just find, oops, slip stitching, not double crocheting, Sandy. Now just find whatever holes you can find in here. You don't have to worry too much about it because it's just going to be on the inside. So just wherever you can find a hole, just feel around and just slip stitch. Just easy peasy. Don't do them really tight, do them loose. And sorry about that. My neighbor was really loud out there. Okay, so yeah, so just continue going all the way down with the slip stitch. Just really loose. You know, you don't want it to be really tight because otherwise it'll pull the sides of your hat in too much. Just make sure that you've got both your sides. Okay. And just continue, oops, continue all the way down. And hopefully your edges will meet up, like match up properly. Because you don't want like this side to be down too far or whatever, so just hold on. If you want to use your stitch markers, you can. And then you won't have a problem. Okay, now at the very last stitch right there, just do a slip stitch in there. Okay. And then what I like to do is I chain one and then go back into that same one to make a corner. So you're doing 2 in that corner. Okay, and you turn your hat. And I have a little tail here, so I'm going to just sew that in. So this is the top of your hat. So now you're going to slip stitch across. Now we're going to flip our hat in back to the right side. Make sure that the corners are out. And that's what you should have. That's a square, just a square hat. Okay, now this part is the frustrating part for me because I can never seem to get my ears the right size. But what I find is if you use something like a ruler or a just something with a straight edge, and then you can use stitch markers if you'd like, but take a fair size piece of yarn, you know, like a half a yard or whatever, put a knot in one end, put your needle on your yarn, okay, now hopefully I can explain this part easily. I try to count my my waffle stitches, and I go say you want your cat ear to be about like that. So you have to try and line up. There's say 3 waffle stitches down. So the end of that waffle stitch, this is where your stitch markers are probably a good idea. So you take your stitch markers and you mark that 3rd line. Okay. All right, and then you go on to the other side and you go 1, 2, 3, and you mark that one. Okay, so yeah, and then you got to figure out the top. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should be about good. So you mark the 3rd one on that side, and 1, 2, 3. Mark that one on that side. Okay, so now you've got your cat ears panned out here. So then you take your yarn with your darning needle. You go inside and you go to where, like in here, where your where your stitch marker is. So you poke it through there. Okay. You pull your yarn through. Okay. And now you make sure that you go through the front and the back. And you start off by going all the way through just to anchor it. Oops. Okay. Now you can hold this however you need to. I find flipping it upside down, excuse me, on this one ear is probably easier. Okay, so now you're just going to go from this corner and go all the way through to the back and bring it up to the middle of this this waffle. Now pull your yarn through. Pull it pretty good. And then you go down through the middle of that waffle, like right the corner of it, all the way through. Bring it up through the middle of the next waffle. Pull it through. Okay. Go down to this waffle, all the way through, and bring it up through the middle of this waffle. Pull that through, and then put it down where the stitch marker is. Okay, now that you got that, you pull. Just pull it, and your ear will form, right? Oops. Okay, now you can take your stitch markers out. Okay, now pull it pretty tight. Hold it. And poke this through to the inside. Oops. So you put your hand inside and you grab the needle and you pull it through. Okay, now your ear is still formed. You can go inside and you can just whip stitch and fasten it off. Just knot it. I like to put it through and then oops, pull it and put the needle back through the loop and pull it, and that will knot it. Okay, you do a couple of those to make sure that that it's knotted really good. Okay. There we go. And then you just weave it through and knot and fasten it off. You just weave in your ends. Okay, and cut your yarn. That's your first ear done. Now you got to do the other side. Ta-da! And we have a cat hat. There we go. Yep. There. Okay. That is it. There you go. So, yeah, just make sure that your pointies are up and everything. And this part here, as long as you count your waffles and keep them the same, the ears should come out the same size. It can be a bit frustrating for a beginner, you know, to try and figure that part out, but you'll get it. It'll, you know, who cares if it's a little lopsided? You know, not all cats are the same. So there you have it, everybody. There is your cat hat. Ta-da! But like I say, I prefer to use thicker yarn It makes the project go a lot easier and a lot faster. But if you wanted to use a thinner yarn, go for it. Just make sure that you check your gauge, you know, like use a smaller hook, and you'll end up doing more rows that way. But yeah, so I mean, see, I used just like a little bit of this third ball. That was it, right? Just to do that last row and to sew up the edges and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was a lot of fun to do. I'm sorry that I used this yarn. This color yarn probably wasn't the best. I should have just used a plain colored yarn. But it is what it is, I guess. I hope that you guys understood everything I said. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And yeah, I would love for you to email me pictures of your hats, or go on my Facebook page and post your cat hat on there. Facebook page is Crochet A, EH, no capitals. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye. Oh, just a side note too, that if you're like this hat will probably fit a larger head. If your head is small like mine, just do less rows, like do maybe 8 rows or 8 waffle stitches, or 7. Okay, and then it should fit you fine, because don't forget this rim takes up an inch, right? So so yeah, so if you find that it's a bit too big, then just either take out the rim and just do a double crochet row instead, and don't use this rim, or just use less rows this way. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.